Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the lab. Good morning, Shito. Thank you so much for stopping by. Oh yeah, that is definitely dark as all get out. Oh, yeah, that doesn't work anymore. How sad. I have this this tiny little LED light that I have on my desk that I use to prevent that right there. That very dark kind of shadow look. But the problem is that well, flip that around. I now have a series of foam panels that are sitting behind me, and those panels. What I used to do is I used to take this this little light and I would shine it against the back wall, and that would basically bounce light back at me, and it would kind of illuminate things a little bit. Oh, get a little bit of focus. There we go. But now that I have the foam panels on the wall, it doesn't do that. Have I thought about a ring light? I have. I just haven't really jumped at it yet. It would actually be kind of nice to have one. Well, actually, I don't think that would bring a port back necessarily. But yeah, it's just another thing of like, oh well, hey, I've put panels on the back wall to try and reduce some of the echo, and oh wait, now the light doesn't work. Yay! So one step forward, two steps back. Is that the phrase? So. And I will have to stop here. I will have to take a brief pause here in just a second as the coffee is being made downstairs. I'm a little behind this morning. Clearly, was trying to. Well, there we go. Was trying to catch up on sleep that I lost from last time. So. From last time? From yesterday? Yes. Let's see here. Make sure all that looks good. Maybe it's one forward and one back. Yeah, that feels about right actually. Let's see here. Oh yeah, and I also put some over there, but oh, I have completely forgotten where I was on Zabot. But it does look like, let me go ahead and bring up the code view. Also, apologies in advance. Well, I shouldn't say in advance anymore, but these little black bars that are around the screen, I noticed that the view for the desktop was so stretched that I had to fix that. I was not particularly keen on how stretched the window looked, because effectively what I did was I took that desktop capture and I stretched it into the available space, and yeah, I did not like the way that looked. Did I buy the refactoring UI PDF? I did not. Actually, all I did was that refactoring UI site. I was just looking through some of the articles. And I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I think it was most of the like the Twitter posts, some of the Medium articles that were posted. I mostly just went through that. I feel like I should. Perhaps I should take a look at the PDF. Is the PDF kind of the same content, just reformatted into a readable PDF? That's Century. We're not going to do that today. Ah, yeah. Oh, right. Okay. So I think I remember where the bot was. So in terms of the Trello board, fix IRC message field, that is done, and fix the IRC outbound messages. As far as I am aware, that is done. And then this one is probably going to be the next one that I end up working on off stream. make WebSocket connections testable. That is actually bothering the crap out of me right now, and I want this code to be tested. So I think where we left off last time, we were looking at how to retrieve the channel ID. Yeah, here we go. How we were going to retrieve the channel ID for a particular channel, since PubSub basically requires the channel ID for most of these calls. Specifically for the listen topic, I think that's the one, or listen to topic. I think that's the one that that needs it primarily. And so one of the requirements of the API is to listen to some topic within, I think it was a period of like 15 seconds. So we had to grab one of these, and in order to do that, we had to start going through. I started looking at the authentication flow. Difference between V5 versus what I think they're now calling Helix. Yeah, it was a pain in the ass to get that channel ID, and I don't know that I actually grabbed the right one, but I did grab one. I grabbed it from the site itself, and I just plopped that into config because oh my goodness. Grabbing that channel ID was probably one of the most annoying things that I have done as part of this Twitch integration, which includes some of the things that we were doing for IRC. I'm just saying. Let's see here. So where were we at? All right, we were just in PubSub. So we need to listen to desired topics. I didn't want to do that. And then we also need to account for the ping pong. Hey, good morning, Spooky. Thank you so much for stopping by. Welcome back to the lab. I saw the thing that you posted in the Discord, and it gave me a right fright. Oh my goodness. Ooh. The coffee is done, so give me just a second. More coffee, more times. Also, I apologize for the ridiculous lighting setup. Actually, you know what? I think I might do. I'm gonna turn that off and go really dark for a moment. Blink. I finally put those sound panels up. There's, what is it, a row of 4x3 behind the monitor, and then there's a row of 4x3 that is to the left of me. I think there we go. That's a little bit better, just a little bit. Yeah, you know, I think I am actually gonna have to look into the ring light. Oh my goodness. Feel, thank you so much for the lurk, mate. Welcome back to the lab. Thank you so much for stopping by. I also realized that I left my coffee mug at my grandmother's when we went to Thanksgiving. So I am now without my large coffee mug, and I'm very sad. Basic ring light would do. That's what it sounds like I may have to go towards, because oof. The lighting setup, I get improvement in theory on the sound setup, and then I lose my light setup. Huzzah. All right. So, and just as a heads up for folks, I am probably going to be working on the testability of the application. I might do that a little bit later today, depending on kind of how things shape up, how the day shapes up. But I may end up streaming that, so I might be back later this afternoon. Kind of to be determined. So no worries on if you are unable to make it or if you are sleeping, because it's a Saturday. But same thing with the other off hours videos. I will be uploading those to YouTube, and especially if I stream them on Twitch, I'm just gonna export them directly to YouTube. So, how was your all-American food and friend holiday? It was good. A little awkward at times, and thankfully, my family is a very big family. But for the most part, people didn't really show up, didn't really congregate. Was that Friday, Thursday? There we go. Which was nice. I think there was a grand total of maybe 7 or 8 of us that ended up actually going to my grandmother's this year, which is, I think, an Edge family first. Think, but it was better that way. It was better to be safe than to risk something like that around my grandfather. So, and also for the first time, I think in my entire lifetime, I didn't actually stuff myself to a food coma. I actually maintained an element of self-control. I did kind of sort of break my diet, if you want to call whatever it is that I do a diet, but so worth. There are some proper Southern cooks in this family, and ooh, you get a proper baked mac and cheese, get a proper sweet potato pecan casserole pudding. I don't know what that was. It was delicious. Woof. And then turkey that's not dry, like without dressing, without gravy. I don't know how they do it, but they do it. Let's see here. What do I want to do? With my favorite Pikachu mug, which I did get a couple comments on after stream yesterday. Like, where on earth did you get that coffee mug? And the short answer is, I have no idea. I think this was a gift for Christmas last year, and I have no idea where it came from. It looks like something that would come from ThinkGeek. Yeah, this definitely looks like ThinkGeek swag. Oh, let's see here. 100% of my mugs, I have no idea where I acquired them. And yet, those are some of the best mugs that you end up getting. Like, this is probably one of the best coffee mugs that I have. It's large, it's solid, the handle is just... Like, this handle, despite the shape, is really cozy. It's really cozy, and it's really easy to grip on. I have no idea why. Probably one of my best traditional style coffee mugs. Excuse me. Although my friend did get me, or my two best friends did get me for Christmas this past year. Got me a pair of double-walled coffee mugs or coffee glasses. Oh, so good. Or, good morning, mate. Thank you so much for stopping by. Welcome to the lab. Alrighty. Ay, ay, ay. Let me get some water. Please excuse the throat clearing. Alright, so trying to think of how I wanted to do this. Yeah. Yay, the bot is actually working again. Huzzah! How am I? I'm doing good, man. How are you? It's a Saturday. Yesterday was a holiday. Today is just the weekend. I got my coffee. Got my code. It's a good day. It's a good day. Probably gonna play some Valhalla a little bit later because I actually haven't stopped to play anything in it's been a hot minute since I actually turned on the PlayStation. I need to fix that. So what do I want to do here? I think for the sake of perhaps simplicity? Let's see here. So we got read, we got write. We got send ping, which is not going to be an exported method. And we got reconnect. And set channel, of course, for the interface. I guess we could just do another one of these down here. And instead of read, this is going to be listen to topic. And this is only going to return an error, if any. And more or less, wasn't it, let's see here. So this is the part where we actually start listening.
So, how are you holding up? Because I'm a potato.
Sheeta with the 2-month tier 2 subscription. Thank you so much, mate. I appreciate it. Aw, one of our honorary lab assistants. Thank you so much, mate. Tier 2 at 2 months. Oh my goodness. The support for this scuffed little lab. I appreciate it. Spooky. Ooh. What? A little Christmas present? Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. That is a fantastic Christmas present. Thank you. All right. Yeah, okay. It's starting to come back to me because I haven't actually worked on the bot. That GLaDOS is something that could have come out of Phoenix as well. Yeah. I love it. I love that. There's the potential of, I think it goes over the 5-second limit. It's like you have a certain amount of time, a certain amount of a clip that you can play, before it becomes a copyright issue. I think. I don't remember what the limit is, but a token required to listen on some topics. The token is linked either to the specified channel ID or the specified user ID. Right. So this is the data format that we need. And what I think I can do let me think on this. So I'm starting to remember from the last time that we were here that one of the issues was the kind of the different shapes that can occur on data, and I think I have. It's not IRC client dot write, and for this we're going to write EVT. EVT is undeclared, so EVT equals event. Now I'm trying to think of, because there's a trick that you can use I was thinking of potentially using some kind of a trick for like anonymous structs here. Instead of requiring JSON data as a string, I could change this to be an interface. Now, I don't usually like doing this, just for the record. I don't usually like making, especially exported events, which I don't really think event needs to be exported. I think event actually needs to be sealed. And let me do a change event to lowercase event -g. Thank you very much. Except for this one. Since event is very specific to PubSub, I don't think that it makes sense to have that exported. I think it makes more sense for event to be basically just a thing that exists inside of the package and nowhere else. Hey, Doll, thank you so much for stopping by. Welcome to the lab. What time is it here? It is 7:34 a.m. Event, variable of type event. All right. Yeah, EBT, can't shadow like that. Boop, EBT. There we go. My complex mathematical calculations were correct. Complex mathematics is complex. I think that was everything. Didn't I have the leader DS? It was, haha. Go mod tidy. Frank Bond quick test is not in your Go mod file. Oh. Not sure why that would be. There you go. Okay. So how do I want to do this? Number one, type here is going to be listen, because that is what we are listening for. And data is going to be a struct. Now this is where things get a little interesting. Since I've made data an interface, I believe I can make this an anonymous structure. I think. So what I think I can do is I can do this. So we got topics and we got auth tokens. So topics is a it's a list of, or a slice of string. And then here we're also going to have JSON topics. And then we're going to have our, was it just called auth token? Auth token. So auth token is a string, and in JSON, it is auth underscore token. So it looks like that. And then we can have, if I remember correctly, you can then do string something, I think. We'll do that, and then auth token is something. Oops. Yeah. So this is a little This is a little trick that I use in a couple of places. Most of the time I end up using it in HTTP handlers and table-driven tests. Because Go allows you to declare anonymous structures like this, it allows you to more or less give a sense of type safety. Somewhat. In this case, we were basically declaring, because data is an interface can be anything. An interface is just, the empty interface is literally a struct that has no methods, or a type that has no methods. Or at least 0 methods is the way to put that. Which means that every type satisfies interface. And because of that, we can effectively build this kind of like this type safe structure approach to data for listen specifically. So what I'm doing is I'm declaring a type definition for the data that's sent in listen, and then I am immediately implementing that definition like so. Now here, obviously, I need to put something here, and I should probably declare this as I should probably declare those as constants probably. But I think we're going to do channel points first. So let's do that. For the sake of simplicity, I am going to be a little bit lazy, just a little bit lazy. Hey, didn't want to do that. That's what I get for being lazy. Dot, and then here I actually need channel ID as well. So I think channel client dot channel ID. Let me come up here. This is something that I am going to need. Channel ID is a string. Oh, and this is not bot.event lower, this is bot.event upper. Yes. Give me diagnostics. Struct field topic has a JSON tag but is not exported. Oh, is that because this actually does have to be exported like so? Yeah, okay. So we want that, and then the OAuth token. Now, where in the world do I get the OAuth token from? Topic and token, maybe? Maybe do something like this. Thinking about how I want to actually pass this data around. And I'm thinking because I don't really need to retain the OAuth token for anything. Actually, that's not true. I would need it for I don't know why. I don't know why I just spaced over to that when I have tools that do it for me. Rippity-doo-dah, rippity-day. Yeah, let's not do that. I was thinking about, am I going to need to keep that somewhere? And I think the answer is yes. I think I am going to have to keep auth token around for reconnects and so forth. What do you think about the Rust programming language? Safrini? I'm pretty sure I butchered that. I apologize in advance. Welcome to the lab. Thank you so much for stopping by. And what do I think about Rust? I think it's interesting. I've not personally used it beyond kind of initial explorations. but it was interesting to me as an alternative for systems based applications. It had something more to it. I'm trying to think of how to describe it. But looking at Rust versus looking at something like C++, oh, I felt a lot better. Now, obviously, me being an old school C programmer, I look at Go and I feel a little bit more at home. But I kind of like the idea of Rust. If I ever get to a point where I actually have to work on something truly systems level, I am inclined to reach for Rust for that purpose. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Upsub. But unfortunately, beyond that, I haven't really messed with it a whole lot. Let's see here. Anything else that I have to do here? I think so. I think I did put the JSON processing in here. I did. Okay. Which is a problem because actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to need to change that. There's a well, actually, you know what? I won't change it here because I will change that as part of the testing refactor that I'm going to do a bit later. I was thinking in my head of oh, I need to go somewhere. I need to change that write method to, instead of using write JSON, to do the JSON marshalling myself and use just the write message function. But that's a refactor that I'll have to do when we actually start testing. Pouring hot tea on your face. What a name. Thank you so much for stopping by. Welcome to the lab. Not really keen on the syntax. I could see it. I could definitely see it. Syntax rarely gets me. I think it's more the type safety. I think it's more type safety that I'm more concerned with. Now there was a language. Now obviously, I mean, if we're talking about the syntax of something like Lisp, ow. And also there were a couple of things about Ruby's syntax that I was not particularly keen on. There's some weird syntax items that I feel like it kind of makes you wonder. It's like, why? What was the inspiration behind this particular syntax? I do. I'm sorry. I'm kind of in my own head at the moment, trying to think about what else we need to do for this piece, which I don't think there is one. I don't think there's anything else that we have to do, at least to start listening for channel redemptions. It's the read side of things that I think I do need to handle for channel points. And additionally, I was also thinking about how I wanted to handle the listen approach. I wasn't sure. I was kind of like doubling back on myself on if I wanted to listen to desired topics in here, or if I wanted to actually export listen and have, say, main.go choose what topics we listen to. That could more or less give me an external approach to turning on and off certain PubSub redemptions, PubSub configuration. Let's see here. Let me do this. Let me bring this up here. For the sake of testing, let's listen to channel points v1. So let's do this. Let's... I think it probably makes sense to just have this as an fmt.printf. So let's see. Topic string equals fmt.sf. This will be %s dot %s. And this is a topic and client dot channel ID. And this will be topic string. Just so that I don't have to do all of that inside of here. Oh. Was thinking about using Proto for sharing the bot event messages over the plugins. That would lead us to clean up the dependency of the whole bot package. Interesting. So what would that look like? And since we're not using, my eyes. Since we're not using any type of network dependency between them, are you thinking of literally just using proto serialized messages, or what would that look like? Color me intrigued. So let's see here. For here, so add some documentation. Listen to the given topic, which actually there's a thing here. Yeah, there's a thing here, because not all topics require channel ID. So I think this logic actually needs to live up here. Yeah. So I was pausing there for a second because I realized that not all topics require channel ID, at least not in the format that we currently have it. And so because of that, I would effectively end up with like if I ever wanted to support whispers in the in this bot or in this pub sub, it wouldn't be able to support things like no worries, Shito. Do take care of what you need to take care of. Here we go. So for some of them, I think most of them do require channel ID, but for things like whispers and mod operations, it actually requires a user ID and a channel ID. So we can't just make the blanket assumption that that topic down here will always include the topic ID where we had it. We're more or less going to have to push that logic up, and I think for the time being we'll just push it up to here. And whenever we decide to move this, which we probably will move this somewhere, we'll make that Can you tell that English is indeed my first language? Unfortunately, at the moment, it's my only language. I have like little bits and pieces of various languages, but I still haven't actually gotten. I haven't gotten into learning a language proper, learning a second language proper. I want to fix that. And with that, I think with this, we can't return event. No, we do actually have to do some parsing. So what would this look like? I think I just want to do like a, for the time being, log dot print line EVT. And let's see here. So now the real question becomes, here's plugin registration. So we got secret store, we got Twitch token, IRC. Now let's do pub sub. And here we'll have IRC. And down here for pub sub, we're more or less going to do something very similar. So if we do, I want to change this part. And for here, so we're going to have pub sub equals. Can you tell I'm still getting used to the new keyboard? Sadly. Pub sub dot new. Oh, hang on a second. Did I not call it? Did I not call it that? Mer? No, it's a new client. So it's oh, it's okay. It's like, why is that not doing a thing? It's Twitch.new client, which that's not good. Oh, let's see here. Yeah, that's not that doesn't read very well. Twitch.new pub sub client. And let's go back into pub sub and let's change this to new pub sub client. Because I think we might move IRC into the Twitch package, since that is technically what that boundary is. I will get to your message here in just a moment, Shito. Just want to make sure that I got this out of my brain. Client.close. And now I think for this we do more or less the same thing. Pubsub.connect, and here it's a scheme and something. Remember what the something was? Like edge dot yeah, pubsub edge dot twitch.tv. There you go. Pubsub edge dot twitch.tv. The problem here being that I did not pass a token. So let's actually pass the channel ID and the auth token here. So channel ID equals channel ID and auth token equals auth token. And here, we'll need to get channel ID and we'll need to get password. To get channel ID comes out of config. I really need to get this I really need to make this a little bit easier to work with. It's like I need to hide config out of main and just make it easier to grab keys. Hmm. Oh, that's the other thing too, is that we probably also need to look at changing over config. So let me pause here for just a second. Small package with the proto file and a generated message struct, so we're not depending on bot package. Move on the proto package, which can be used from all other package, and a more clear interface. The channel would send proto bot event messages instead of bot.event messages. So let me think about that. So effectively, it would be the same event message. The difference being that it would be declared in proto format, so we would be using the proto compiler to read that proto format and generate a struct out of it. And then instead of it being in the bot package, it would be in a proto package. Let's see here. I'm trying to parse that. I think at the current moment, so I'm not quite convinced on the lack of dependency, because all we're doing is moving that dependency from one package to the other, but it's still the same dependency. But I do like the idea of what changing it to a protobuf format would give us. It would basically give us some future capabilities. Since the message is declared in proto format, we can generate, for example, if we wanted to extend this outside of a single application, we could basically use that proto format as an API. But I'm not sure that I'm following on the removal of the dependency, because I think the way that I'm thinking about that is that you haven't removed the dependency, you've just moved the dependency, which is, in my mind, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, I think. But was curious if you thought differently on that. I do like the idea. I actually really like the idea. It might be an idea that we defer for later, though, unless there's another benefit to doing that right now. We might defer that decision to later. Which I say that, and my instinct is to add it to the Trello board. Protobuf message for bot events. Oh, and of course I hit the escape key. Yeah, try that again. Add card. I'm not sure what label to put this. I'm not sure when we would do that. But the idea of using protobuf as the API for those messages is interesting. Especially if we start talking events outside of the Go code. So for example, if we brought the admin interface back, the admin interface would probably be speaking bot events. So having a protobuf file for that would give us a single point of generation between the two. So yeah. Yep. POC. I like POC. So POC, an idea for protobuf messages with the idea of yeah, I think I like that. So I'm kind of rolling around in my head what that could be useful for. And I think I'm convincing myself that yes, we do want to do it. Probably not right now, though, just with the way that the application is currently structured. I don't think it makes sense to bring a protobuf compilation step in yet, but I do think that that's an interesting idea for a future idea. So, but I like the suggestion, and I want to explore that later. Oh, right. So undeclared name, channel ID. So here, channel ID, key. Yeah, this was the other thing that I needed to do. Viper dot. Was it get string? I think that's what it was. So channel ID equals viper.getString greeter dot channel ID. So yeah, this is something that I think I actually need to address now. So I was looking at the config file, and I started to realize very, very quickly that there is a... Very quickly, we're going to run into a problem where this config is going to have to be duplicated over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, because our top level key is the feature. And what I mean by that is, let's say for channel point redemptions, which we're about to do, in order to get channel point redemptions working...
How are you holding up? Because I'm a potato.
It's Leo with the raid. Welcome, Raiders. Thank you so much for stopping by. How y'all doing? Aw, thank you for the raid, mate. I appreciate it. Welcome to the lab, everybody. Oh my goodness. Sweewa Wade? That's about as good as I'm gonna be able to do for that. Casey Designs, welcome to the lab. Thank you so much for coming, everybody. We are attempting to build a Twitch bot in Go. So, hello everybody. I am Medj. I am the singular researcher in Medj Labs. Aw, hello. How are y'all doing today? To catch everybody up, so we are working on the PubSub interface for the Twitch bot, and we're working on, we just got most of the scaffolding in place for listening to events. We're going to listen for channel point redemptions first, because I think that's probably going to be the easiest thing to test for the time being. And in the process of going through that and getting the PubSub client set up, I realized that config is about to be a pain in my ass. Just thought I'd raid. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. So started to look at the config file, and big problem. Feature being the top level key effectively means that we're gonna have to do something like this, where for channel points, for the channel ID, message format, it's basically a duplication of this code or this config over and over and over for greetings, for channel points, for subscriptions, for everything. So something that that I need to do, number one, I am going to give Leo a shout out, because thank you for the raid. Playing Out of Space. What? What is Out of Space? I'm curious. Whereas instead, what I think makes more sense is to do something more like this. Have the channel as the top level key, and then down here, perhaps we could have this and then like so. That way I don't have to duplicate all of this information, and there's probably going to be more information that starts coming along with the channel. I don't want to have to duplicate that over and over and over for every feature. I think it makes more sense just to kind of flip it a little bit and get something more like this. House cleansing simulator. Aha, you spawn in a space station infected by aliens and you have to clean things up. Huh. It's, let's see here. What was the game that that Soviet Womble was playing? Is that Out of Space? I feel like it might have been Out of Space. It's hella stressful. Welcome everybody to a nice and calm Saturday morning. Today we are going to be simulating cleaning a space station that is absolutely wrecked. Aren't you in pure zen? that's kind of the feeling that I'm getting from that. Oh no. Let's see here. If we did that, then we would have something like channel points, message format. This would be thanks for the research sent S, because everything has to be lab oriented, I believe. If we did that, then this would instead become this would actually become this sent as .channel ID. Get channel ID key, PubSub becomes like that, do that. And then we have a PubSub connect, which at that point we should have, if I remember correctly, we should have everything ready for listening. And I think we should be good. I think here we would want to return that. Do like that, come back to main, error equals blah. If error is not equal to nil, log.fatalf. And then the last thing would be to register inbound plugin for PubSub. Okay. Got a lurk though, about to have a movie night. Oh, that's fun. Thank you so much for the lurks, Leo. I appreciate the raid and I appreciate you stopping by. Cheers, mate. Oh, Linkra97, welcome to the lab. Thank you so much for stopping by. We are attempting to build a Twitch bot in Go. And at the moment we are, so the greeting that you just got is the bot that is running over here. And what we're attempting to do right now is add PubSub functionality so that we can start responding to things like subscriptions, channel point redemptions, so on and so forth. So we are adding features to the bot, which is an exciting time. It's like once you get past that initial MVP and you start getting into MVP 2, that's where things really start to get interesting. Oh, I did not have any. For here, I think we'll just say connect, listen, and read. Well, connect, listen, read, and ping pong is probably what I'll consider to be completion for that ticket. Because we'll have to connect and we'll have to listen. We'll have to read in order to figure out whether or not we're actually we've actually done it properly. And then ping pong might be something that we could split out into a separate ticket, but I don't think we need to. Failed to register PubSub, perhaps. This I think needs to be a %B. This also needs to be a %B. Now, maybe. I need to look at that. %S grabs the error string. %V prints out the error in native format? Ugh, I can never remember what that is. And then that's the end of plugin registration, and I think that gets us to a point of run? Technically speaking, I haven't
Oh, good. My slow clap processor made it into this thing.
Linkwood97, thank you so much for the follow, mate. Welcome to the lab. Digital lab coats will be available upon request. However, we cannot guarantee that they will actually fit because it is a Saturday, and measuring on a Saturday is a sin. Or something. %VR values, %plus VR values with the field names. Ah! I just Googled that maybe 2 or 3 days ago. Oy vey. Because I remember, I think it was trying to post one of the JSON messages. I think that's what it was. I think it was in a test. I was trying to post the JSON message and it wasn't giving me the fields. And I was like, how do I do that? No, %+V. Oh. Kind of hard to remember at times, but I imagine that's just something that that kind of comes with practice. Practice. All right, so we got connect. Connect is going to listen to channel points. Channel point listen is going to be a thing. I think we are indeed to a point where we can test this. So, gonna kill the bot real quick. See if we come back up. Oh, okay. In theory, we are connected to PubSub Edge. Ooh. Okay. I'm going to redeem something real quick. Let's see what happens. Nada. That's okay. Okay. So let's see here. Are we supposed to see something when we connect? And I think also what we can do as part of this, oh, nope, I won't be able to do that because that's going to leak my my access token, which I can't do. Sorry, I'm trying to think of, is there a way that I could test this? I was trying to think if I could potentially write out, which I could. I would just have to do it manually and. So PubSub connection is not nil. So that part's working. Although I may not. I might not be on that. Ooh. Oh no. I don't know why it took so long for me to realize this, but I'm not getting usernames now. Oh no. Oh, I'm gonna have to fix that. Which channel on PubSub you're using? I thought I was using mine. However, this is the part where I start to wonder if not having the access token automated is gonna bite me. So that's something that we need to fix. Damn. Thinking of how I would want to do that. I mean, I could do something relatively cheeky. I don't know if I get a response back. I think if you're connected to the if you're connected to this piece. Okay, so that's ping pong and reconnect. And if I send this, I should get a response. So that's interesting. Thank you for the lurk, Sorcery. I appreciate it. Welcome to the lab. Example is a request for bid events. The authorization scope is specified when you generate the OAuth token, which it's my OAuth token, so my OAuth token should be valid for basically everything. Okay, I'm going to put the secret screen up for just a bit. I'm going to do a printout for the right message. And let's see here. So let me just do a log.println message. So all I'm doing at this point is going into the right message, and I am just gonna print out the message that's being sent to make sure that that's. Oh no, I'm gonna have to do a JSON.Marshall. Yeah. JSON.Marshall message. I'm gonna have to do a string on that. Yes. And this is only the only reason that I'm doing this is because I do not have. I have my my OAuth token in there, and so I can't just print it out onto screen. So I'm going to do a bit of println debugging, which again wouldn't have to do if I had tests. Log.println, and for here this would be string again, something that I am definitely going to be picking on later today. How I'm gonna do it, no idea. Which again, for those that have not heard me talk about this before, one of the big things that is kind of stopping me from doing the testing that I want to do is the WebSocket connection. Let's see here, source access token, go run, go. Type data. Okay. Type data topics. Auth token is probably not right. Shit. Yeah, I think that might be a problem. Okay. But anyway, the problem that I've been running into is that because WebSocket connection does not implement any kind of interface that I can tell, it's really hard to test without doing something like mocking the interface. And I really don't want to mock the interface. What I really want is something that implements something like io.readWriteCloser, so that I can just do something like have a byte buffer and be able to actually inspect messages coming into the WebSocket connection within test, so I could get the equivalent of message tracing. But I don't got that. That's not something that I have. So something that I've been looking at over the last couple of weeks now, I think, just kind of picking at it on and off, is trying to figure out if there's a way for me to effectively wrap Gorilla's WebSocket connection in an IO read write closer struct. But haven't quite gotten there yet. Are you working back again in main branch? I am, Shito. I am probably going to branch out. I'm probably going to branch this out into a pub sub branch, just so that I don't goof up the main branch. But to be determined. Why ask? Would you like to poke at some code? Okay, so I think the problem is actually the password. How am I gonna do this? So I think the problem, just to kind of get the thought out, the problem is that the auth token is expected to come in this format, but the auth token that I currently have being sourced into the environment currently has a prefix of OAuth : in front of it. And the reason that we did that is because of the password requirements on IRC. So when you do the when you send the pass command, this is expected to be in OAuth : and then OAuth token format. And once again, a design decision that was specific to IRC is biting me, but then again, I didn't really know that that was going to bite me. So I have to change that as well. Was looking if I'm to start with tests. Oh, okay. Yeah, if you wanna poke around at stuff, feel free to branch off of the main branch. I would welcome the help. I always welcome the help. This is an open source project, so if you are interested in contributing to the bot, see here, I don't have the code up, so I will get a command for that here in a little bit. Just so that I can post the GitHub link to it. But yeah, by all means, poke away. So, I'm trying to think. For the sake of testing, what I think I'm going to do is strings.trim prefix for now. And let's see here, string.trim prefix is string and prefix. So for here, it'll be password, and we want to trim OAuth off of it. So I want to do something like that. Okay. And now if I do hydrate, nothing. It could be that the channel ID is wrong. It could be something else. Or it could be that I'm just not doing the read proper. Then it's more or less just this. Now, where is the read actually happening? Did I... Oh dear, am I about to get really upset with myself? So the key press that I'm doing is Lear GR. Which is my Vim bind for find references. No references. Hey chat. I wonder why I'm not seeing anything in the logs. Because we ain't reading anywhere. Oh my god. I cry. I cry. We'll call this start just like the others. Jesus Christ. Start the listener. Oh me. And we're gonna have to do the same. I think we're gonna have to do the same. Well, no, we're not, because we don't have multiple items. Yeah, we don't have multiple things that we're listening for. I don't think we need error right now. And having a go funk here actually doesn't feel right. Start the listener as an infinite loop. This way, so we can more or less do the same thing. Want to do go pubsub dot start, so that we can kick that off in the background and come over here. Aha, there it is. Air bad auth. So you see, chat, it is very important to actually read from your readers whenever you want to see messages go by. All right, so we have a bad auth, which I think means that either the channel ID is wrong, error response can be error bad message, error bad auth, error server, and error bad topic, which I think, so we're here. Yeah, so we need to, oh, Jesus. Repeated read on failed WebSocket. Ah. Oh, I see. So that's a problem. Yeah, okay. So we have a panic case now. Client.con. Is there a way to see if the thing is closed?
Oh, good. My slow clap processor made it into this thing.
Avinash, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the lab. Digital lab coats will be available upon request. However, we cannot guarantee that they will actually fit because the current bot is exploding. But thank you so much. Welcome. Do I have Python experience? To a degree. I shamelessly admit that Python is not my favorite language, but I have worked with it in the past. Why do you ask? Oh man, I ran out of coffee. Let me take a quick break. I'm gonna go and make another cup of coffee because this feels like another cup of coffee day. So give me just a sec. I'll be right back. I return. Unfortunately, not with coffee, so I will have to step away here in just a second. Instead, I return with tiny oranges. Actually, I think these are mandarins, but details. I'm trying to extract a column from a matrix. Oh, got it done. Okay, never mind. The inclusion of NumPy immediately invalidates any and all of my perceived Python experience. Isn't there a close error property? Oh, you know what? I wonder if we're just swallowing this error. We may actually be erroring out. I wonder. Error pub/sub read, and then we'll put the value here. I think we might just be swallowing an error here. Let's find out. No? Interesting. So this should panic at some point, I think. I'll check back on that in just a second. I'm kind of curious. Yeah, log.println. Let me do a printf, actually. Percent plus. There. Do that. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Yeah, okay. So the problem is that we're not actually checking the error. We're not checking for the error, so we're not failing out the read. So error equals client.read. If error does not equal to nil, then we need to do something. Which I think in this case we'll just do a log dot print f error pub/sub read. We'll basically just duplicate this. But then here we will break. So this would be message error, which actually in here we're not gonna do anything with it just yet. We will eventually, but not right now. So if we do that, we come down to here. So now we've actually got an error stop. I think that should do what we want it to do. Let's see. And I think the reason that this is erroring out I am here with the Teapot Guitar. Thank you so much for stopping by. Welcome, mate. You can explicitly check of close errors. True. And so effectively what we're kind of doing the same thing, sort of. We've just moved that logic outside of read, and we've instead moved it to where we're reading. So up here is where we do the explicit check, and we will get an error on this. The reason that we were panicking is because we tried to read, the socket was closed, and then we just kept doing it. We kept trying, even though the connection had already failed. We just kept reading it, and so eventually Gorilla's like, "Yo, dog, stop! Panic!" Which is always a fun thing to do. So adding this here at least gives us some. It gives us something to do. And I feel like we could probably return the error. We could either return the error here or yes. So we could do reconnect logic. I don't want to do reconnect logic inside of the read. I kind of want the reconnect logic to be surrounding that logic, just so we don't pollute read. But we could do some reconnect logic up here. The problem is that I'm not doing reconnect logic right now because I know why it's not reconnecting, or why it's not connecting. Or at least I know that it's not reconnecting, and I'm not sure how to fix it. Details. How's the coding going? It is going good. It's just a matter of an error that is very difficult to debug, or that is very difficult to figure out why it's happening. Coffee should be done. Be right back. Coffee acquired. So I need to turn the kitchen lights off because it is now bright enough outside that we don't need the lights on. Kitchen off. Thank you. All right. So, how are we gonna address this? So it's a bad auth error. Okay, so now it's disconnecting, and I think it's disconnecting because we're hitting that point of bad auth, or not bad auth, but we're not connecting to anything. We're not listening to anything, and so that that requirement of, hey, you connect, and then you have 15 seconds to listen to a topic successfully, and then we don't do that, and then we get yeeted out. So type response error bad auth. Data is nil. Bad auth though. Why would it be bad auth? I'm gonna throw the secret window up again. Just a moment. Just because I want to double, triple, quadruple check that this is in fact doing what I am expecting it to do. Yeah, log dot printf sent plus v, and this will be message, and then we're going to do like that. Hey, really, Frank, thank you so much for stopping by. Welcome to the lab. I might need a new auth token. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Earlier, I think it was because it still had the OAuth colon prefix, like what you have to do with IRC. But now, I'm starting to wonder. Let me source that. Go run. Listen, data, topics, channel points. The channel points channel? I think that's right. Channel points channel v1 dot blah. And then we have our auth token, which is in the proper format, but it is still an error bad auth. Okay. 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 Alrighty. So we're still in the same problem. And yeah, we might be in a situation where we need a new auth token. Alternatively, it might be the wrong channel ID. So what I was trying to do last week, I think it was, I was trying to do one of these APIs in an attempt to get the Twitch or the channel ID for my particular channel. And the theory there would be that if I have an auth token that is generated for my channel, then in theory that auth token should have all required items, unless this is the broadcaster ID. Is what I have the broadcaster ID? God, that would make me sad if that's the case. Yeah, there's a part of me that's thinking that I'm not using the channel ID. I'm instead using the broadcaster ID. Ugh. Oof. And then there's a get channel by ID, which in theory requires no authentication. The finalist of fantasies. Now, mind you, this is using the old API, so that's the thing that confused the crap out of me the last time that we were looking at it. It's like, oh, you can do these things in this old API. Oh wait, don't use the old API. Use the new API. You know what? I don't think this is gonna work, but I'm gonna try it anyway. We're gonna do it like that. We'll come over here. We'll come into our config. I'm gonna grab this ID. Oh Lord. I hit word instead of dollar. Pretty sure that's not gonna work. Yeah, no client ID specified. Rip-a-dee-doo-dah. Rip-a-dee-day. Yieldy endpoint equivalence? Yoink. I feel like that's what I was looking at. Yeah, there we go. Get channels, get channel information, get channel by IDs, get channel information. Okay. Broadcaster ID, broadcaster name, broadcaster language, game ID, game name, and title. Channel ID is synonymous with broadcaster ID. So then in theory, if they're synonymous, then I should have the right ID. Or, in theory, I should have some kind of ID. Ugh. How do I be keeping that good posture? The chair, yo. This uplift chair is doing a pretty damn good job of it. Although, here we go. I say that after immediately having to adjust the back of the chair. But yeah, but it's the chair and it's also the keyboard. The keyboard is very much positioned such that I don't have to slouch myself forward very much, which is really nice. And not to mention, coffee cup place. It's just so good. That's the best feature of this keyboard, is it has an integrated coffee cup place. So then all topics require an OAuth token, but only some topics have a specific required scope. Is all fine. Channel ID is the underscore ID field returned by the Twitch API get channel endpoint. Fucking hell. So pub sub documentation. Nice. I want coffee now, but it's still like 104 outside. Ugh. I mean, iced coffee? Where there's a will, there's a way to get coffee. Maybe you can test against the old API to check if it's the same ID. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna have to do, Shito. Returns the channel object associated with the OAuth token. Now, the thing that's interesting. This is not a classroom, Spooky, so you can derail all you bloody want. Especially when it's coffee related. Yeah, this is just, in my opinion, this is just friends huddled around code chatting, so there's no derailing anything. I wish there was an API that was just like, give me a channel name and I'll give you the channel ID associated to it. That would be so handy. Get the specified channel object. And the problem that I was having was that the client ID. I don't have a client ID for
for that generated code. So yeah, let me put the secret thing up again. And this is a bot chat token. Sure. Oh my god, the scrolling kappa. Me just change some of these. Posts and reactions to a channel feed. No. Helix. Bits reads. User read broadcast. So what I'm doing in the background is I am there we go. 40C, yeah. I'm using this this token generator to create a token. I'm just managing some of the manage channel point redemptions. Now I want to read redemptions. There we go. And I'm just editing some of the permissions on this token. And I'll read view hype train data. Oh my goodness. There we go. So generate the token. Authorize. We'll deauthorize it here in a bit as I go through the CAPTCHA to prove that I am a human. Okay. And now I'm just gonna make a quick API call. Let me bring this down, put this over here. So curl -h client ID. Hey. Client ID is this thing. And the URL is going to be that. Oh, I need the new one. Did I set the correct scope? In theory, at least looking at this particular item, looks like the answer is yes. Okay. I know what I need to do. So vim auth channel ID.sh. I'm just gonna make a quick. Sorry, I know you guys are just staring at the lock screen. Just dealing with some sketch items, some super secrets, if you will. Okay, so token equals there you go. The access token is this. The ID is this. I'm also deauthorizing things in the background. Just to be sure. And Chan ID in theory is sorry guys, bear with me. So this becomes Chan ID. So what I'm doing is I'm writing a just a quick bash script to do this this check for me. And so this is authorization bearer token, and I used the Twitch token generator that was linked in chat a moment ago to generate a client ID in secret to use for the request. And now I'm just writing a little shell script to do the check, so I don't have to sit here and constantly edit a curl command. So channel ID is, in theory, this guy. Sure is. Okay. So I did get a response for the token that I currently have. I'm going to add a new tab and then hide that tab. Come over here, close that out. Make sure that all of that is closed out. I mean, I'm probably going to go and invalidate these tokens here in just a second anyway, but just in case. And we're going to say yeah, let me do this. So I'm changing, since that worked, I'm changing the token that I generate, or the token that I source. I'm changing it to this new one, just to see. Oh, right, I'm gonna have to, let me come over to main. Almost done, folks. My apologies. T.s printf. %s password. I should really change password to be something else. I should probably just call it what it is. But for the time being, we'll do that. And then now we don't have to do a trim prefix anymore. This is just now password. Okay. I'm gonna clear that out. source access token. Go run main.go. Let's see what happens. Holy shit, it worked. Okay. So we have a we have a problem. I'm just double checking to make sure that there are no tokens, no secrets in here. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, doesn't look like it. All right, so let me bring the secrets back off. So we did it, and it was indeed the token. So what that tells me is that the token that we generated initially is not really a valid token anymore. Either that or it just didn't have the scopes necessary to do what we needed it to. Perhaps that token was basically restricted to just, say, chat read and chat write. Maybe. But what I did was I used the link that Really Frank sent a bit earlier. The Twitch token generator generated a token and then used that client ID and access key, sent that off, and that actually did confirm that the channel ID was correct. So then I grabbed the access key from that generated token, plopped that into our ENV store, reran the application, and we got a response. So we didn't get a response, didn't get an error response on connection. And now we're receiving messages for things like, okay, well, there's a hydrate and there's a stretch. So we're now receiving pub sub messages. Holy shit, does that feel good? Except that that also means that I now really do have to actually automate the auth token process in some capacity. Oh man. Oh, let me wish my best friend a happy birthday. There we go. Because it's her birthday today. Okay. So the other thing that we need to that we do need to look out for. I don't know if the channel ID is a secret. It's not. With the channel ID, you can do virtually nothing. If you don't have the access token, if you don't have the secret key, etc., you can't do anything with it. It would be the equivalent of if you knew, say, well, really just any generated user ID. The generated user ID by itself, yes, it's not like you know that Medj Labs is associated to a number, but if you don't have all of the authentication pieces associated to it, that number is basically as useless as you knowing that my username is Medj Labs. Cool. We do still need to fix the ping step. Which for the ping step, I think there was a question here. There's still an outstanding question in my mind of where I wanted to initialize the ping. Which honestly, I think I want to do it here. We do something like that, and maybe the last step. Alternatively, we could fire this up as a go routine. Send ping could more or less be the, what do we want to call this? Send ping could be the piece that just kind of sits in the background and waits. Maybe, but I think the easiest thing would probably be to just have it in the start loop. Probably. I'm kind of going back and forth on two possibilities in my head. Number one is that I could add the ping loop here, which is just the loop that every what was it, every 5 minutes? Connection management. Missing a ping command once every 5 minutes, so we would shorten that to 3 minutes to give us enough time for error handling and reconnect. Or maybe every 4 minutes. So every 4 minutes we basically write a ping event to the connection. And what I think I could do, send ping. And we're not really gonna wait for Pong. You know, I was looking for that method that you mentioned before, Shito, but I don't see it. I don't see an is closed for WebSocket connection. I'm not sure why. So more or less what we could do here, same thing as before, we can get rid of this. Now there was a way to do this. I'm trying to remember what it was. It was like time dot ticker or oh, there's a thing. I want to say it was time.ticker or something of that nature that effectively would allow us to do exactly what it is that I want to do, and I've already forgotten what it was. Run go every 5 minutes. And I think it was time.tick or time dot something. Time.sleep I don't really want to do, but I could do. Time.new ticker. And then on update run. Okay. Okay. Can you have a time.duration in a for loop? Because that would be kind of handy. You could do something like a for, what is it? For underscore time dot, new ticker, 4 minutes, I think we wanted to do. not millisecond. That would absolutely blow up the Twitch server, and that would be terrible. I think if we did a range like that, can we do that? No. Damn. I was hopeful. Oh well. All right, well fine. We'll do it the right way. The alleged right way. So we need oh wait, no, it was okay. Hold on. So ping tick, which is an interesting way of putting that. V2 boop. So plop that there. Yes, I know. So ping tick, and then 4, select, case, ping tick dot tick. Here, I think we would want to move that up. Error does not equal to nil. We want to do something. Question is, what would we want to do for that something? Oh yeah, this would be a receive on the channel. And if we did a break here, I'm not entirely sure that would break out of the for loop, or maybe it would. Maybe it would, maybe it wouldn't. Not sure. Client.is close error. Let's see here. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Is a close error with one of the specified code? Oh, okay. I don't think that would give me what I want unless unless I built into what I was more looking for was a way to proactively check the connection for an error instead of writing to the connection and then seeing if I got an error back, because we already do that. Like we already have error handling, so in this particular case, it doesn't really matter if it's a close error, or maybe it does. Actually, I take that back immediately after saying it. Because to your point from earlier, if it is a close error, then we can initiate the what is it? We can initiate the reconnect logic. The reconnect logic. There we go. Brr. Words are hard, no matter what types of words you are adding. So every 4 minutes, send off a ping event. And then I think for the sake of sanity, we do want to receive Pong events. And I think this will kind of give us that. There is something that we'll have to add here, which is to check whether or not we got a Pong message in return, which would be... close that back out. Type of Pong. So we can effectively switch on the type. If we receive a Pong, then we know that we are more or less good to go. We could do some type of a of state to validate, hey, I've sent a ping, did I receive a pong, to account for the error handling. That'll get a little complicated, so I might ignore that for the time being, but definitely something that we should do as a to-do. How to validate we received a pong in time. Technically, we could validate that by just trying to do something and then reconnecting. Perhaps. And that was the other thing, is did we want to try and reconnect? I think reconnect needs to return an error. Needs to eventually return an error. In this case, it would return nil because it would have succeeded. But down here, if we hit max retries and we're still getting an error, we say we've basically tried to we've retried as much as we can, return whatever that error is. Don't think we reference this anywhere just yet. So there's a couple of places that we could handle reconnecting. Whether I want to do that in here, or if I want to wait until the client refactor, to be determined. Okay. Let's. Yep, there it is. Client.isClose error. Oh, sorry. Error pub/sub read. So this is where we didn't respond to the ping in time. Or we didn't send a ping in time. Let's go run. And it almost feels like to send ping. Oh wait, we didn't actually kick it off anywhere. So for now, I think it makes sense to fire this off as part of the. Actually, I think it makes sense to send it as part of the start. Go send ping. Client.sendPing. So we kick that off as part of the start method. It kicks off the ping loop. And then for now we've got our read. We do our read loop. We do a thing. That should be where I want to be, I think. Okay. So we are now connected. So I will give this a couple of minutes as as we start to think about fixing. In the meantime, actually, I can fix the username issues. But let me go ahead and update config.go, main.go, and pub/sub. And the channel id.sh is a script that I was actually working on before. That is not the script that I was just messing with. So this is add listen and read logic to pub/sub. Add pub/sub plugin registration. Okay. That code pushed up since that is now working. Sorry, I hear noises behind me, and I'm pretty sure it's a cat, but... Oh, yep, it's Tilly. Hello, Tilly. Well, good morning to you, too. If I can catch her. There she is. Tilly. Chili. Say hi. Can you say hi to everybody? No? Too lazy? Alright. Surprise, surprise. So yeah, I'm going to let that run here for just a minute, see where we get. But one more BRB as I need to use the restroom real quick, so give me just a sec. That's been on mute this whole time. Haha. Am I sure it's the cat? Never. No. Ugh. Attack of the cat. Chomp, chomp, chomp. You saying hello to everybody? Mwah. You sweet little girl. Well, sweet when you want to be. Does this need charging? This doesn't need charging. Let's go plug that in. For real though, Apple, when's the day that you're gonna convert the iPhones over to USB-C? Like the iPad is USB-C, Macs are USB-C. Why is the iPhone not USB-C? Make that a thing. Oh, Cheeto. Yeah. So sorry. I finally did it. Finally did it. I got one. I got a YubiKey. Are you happy? Are you proud of me? Proud of me. I finally got it. I finally got it set up. I started swapping things over this morning. Oh, so good. So good. All right. Whereabouts are we? We get, hey! Ta-da! We're getting ping pong. We're getting double ping pong. Oh, Jesus. I think at this point, we are probably at the point where we can basically take ping pong off of the logs, and only send an error to the logs if the ping pong failed. So let us give a moment of silence to our lovely ping pong logs, but I am yeeting you into the abyss. So that's okay. Let's come into IRC. Ping. Where'd the ping? Ping? Oh, right. Is it in the read method now? Send Pong. That's what it was. Pretty sure there's a better way of doing this, but there you go. Goodbye, ping pong. Thank you for your services. If error does not equal to nil, then we need to do a log. LOL. Yes, absolutely. Log.println or printf. Yeah, we do want to do a printf here. Error. Ping. Pub/sub. Ping failed. %v for here will be the error. If error equals client.reconnect, error does not equal to nil. Break. So I kind of want to clean that logic up a little bit. Yeah, because that's more or less what this logic looks like now with the reconnect. So if we run into an error with client.write, we attempt to reconnect. Alternatively, what we could do is we could move this down into the write method. So we do that. So if reconnect error equals client.reconnect, error does not equal to nil, return error. 159 down here. That's okay. We'll save that, reformat that. So instead of having, let's see here. We can effectively just have a reconnect error here. But to do, should check if, what's the phrase? What am I thinking of? Should check if connection is closed. So in other words, we should be a little bit smarter about this, about how we're actually reading from things. And I think we can do the same thing for read. Where read is more or less doing the same thing. We should check this case. You can basically check the same thing for both reading from and writing to. Have the reconnect logic central to those two methods. That way we can move that around as necessary, and we don't have to populate, we don't have to pollute our logic of things like send ping and all that other, all the other more business logic methods. We don't have to pollute those methods with that context. And so I'm actually going to put that here. Just going to reorder the code a little bit so that it reads just a little bit better. Okay, read, write, reconnect. Yeah. That's not looking half bad. And on a reconnect, we are doing connect. And in connect, we are doing... Oh, right. So this was... Well, no, so we don't actually have to reaccount for the client.ping and so forth. Yeah, we don't have to account for that. I was thinking that I might have to move the ping logic, like where we actually kick off the ping logic. I was thinking I would have to move that into connect because of retry, but thankfully we don't have to do that because read and write are going to block. Reconnect is a blocking operation, as it should be. It'll block until we get back into the server. We've also got our mutex lock and our mutex unlock. Oh, nope, we still need that. I think that should be okay. Yeah, I think that should be good. So let's ng commit, clean up, ping pong logging, and add reconnect to pubsub read write methods. I'll go ahead and push that since I knew that there were a couple of people that that were looking at the code at this point. Oh, and then I'll also do the so sorry. Go mod tidy. There you go. Now the code is updated. So sorry. Oops. Alrighty. So what time is it now? 9:41. So we've got a little bit more time. The last thing that I would like to try and fix for today is the logging handler. And how I want to do this, there's a part of me that almost wants to rename this method so that it can be very explicit of, hey, this is chat messages. EBT dot sender pvt dot message. So that change should redo. Oh, geez, that's a lot of ping pongs. Yeah, let's fix that real quick. Yes. So let me just do this real quick. Hello, world. Yeah, there we go. So because we were missing the usernames from before, I wanted to add that back in so that we didn't have the case of before where it's like, oh, there's a chat message, but who was it from? Because that might be necessary later. But for now, well, that was an easy fix. It's like I was almost expecting that to be worse. But no, easy peasy. Fix logging handler to add sender to log. There we go. All right. So we have PubSub. We have the PubSub client, I should say. We are basically at that point from before that we were talking about where we have to decide how we're going to deal with the listeners. Or I should say how we're going to deal with the message parsers. TLDR for this is that for each message type, the process that we have to go through is we basically have to read a message off of the WebSocket connection. We have to process it, figure out what it is, and then parse it into a bot.event message, which more or less means that the read does not actually have to return the message. And I think that's the pattern that we did for IRC. Yeah, which for IRC we do need to fix this. Actually, we can do that as part of this. But so instead of read returning the message directly like we used to do before the plugin change, before the outbound events change, now all that read has to do is receive the message, parse it, and then send it to the bot for processing. What I think we kind of landed at on the... Lord, I don't remember how long ago this was, but I think where we landed for PubSub was because there were so many message transformers that we would need, we would effectively do something kind of similar to what we do with the bot and the bot handlers, except that the bot handlers would more or less be almost like an assembly line, or more of like actually it would be more of like just a room. You have a room of people that are dedicated to one specific task. They only understand one specific message. And then you come into the room, you broadcast the message out, and only the individuals that know what to do with that particular message will actually process it. So that at least was the original theory. Hello, Toby. You were just such a chill cat. My goodness. So, and that I think we wanted to do because otherwise we would end up with, and we might still do this just for the sake of the initial feature. We would effectively end up with a series of functions that look something like this. Try parse, which is not what they would actually be called. but try parse channel point redeem. And the message would be an event message, and it would either return a bot.event, or maybe it wouldn't return anything at all. For the method approach, we more or less just send an error. And the whole idea for here is that we would then receive each of these listeners, if you will, or each of these transformers would be listening for their associated event message. And they would effectively just try to parse the event message. So channel point redemption, for example, looks something like this. That's a lot of stuff that we're not really gonna deal with. Turn bot.event nil. And effectively, we would just try to parse out this method as best as we could. If we fail to parse, then more or less we know that's not a message that we understand, and so this particular function wouldn't return anything.
Oh, good. My slow clap processor made it into this thing.
C. Marma? I probably butchered that. I apologize. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the lab. Digital lab coats will be available upon request. However, we cannot guarantee that they will actually fit because this one is the one that is actually making the lab coats. And as you can see, he just can't be arsed. You're a sweet boy. Thank you so much for stopping by. Welcome. So this would be a channel point redemption. And what we would probably do is something very similar. Now, I think this is why I had data as a string before and not an interface. So we might change that. But effectively, what we could do, redemption is a struct, and it's a struct because we only really care about the user name. User is a struct. This is a little trick for JSON processing that is a little gnarly. And I think we can actually simplify this a bit, I think. Golang, JSON, tag, nested? Yes. So this is more or less what I was taught to do, which is you have a thing, you have an anonymous struct that is bound to the top level object. Cannot do the trick, blah, 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 like encoding. Nested structs is the way to go. Damn. Yeah, okay. Okay, so just wanted to double check if that was a possibility. So more or less what we're doing here is we are recreating a struct that represents the objects that we want. So in this case, we'll go with display name. This user is the nested JSON field of user. And then this struct is the nested JSON field of redemption. So this is kind of a, you can think of it as like a trick to get nested JSON structs in a relatively quick way. I use the term relatively lightly, but underneath the redemption object, there is a user object which contains the display name, which is more or less what we would want to extract. Let's see here. Redeemed at meh. We've got a reward, which is a struct. And then this is going to be JSON reward. Underneath the reward, we would probably want title prompt and cost, I think. Or no, we would just want title and cost. Yeah, I think we would just want title is a string and cost is an integer. It gets a little gnarly looking at these kind of nested structures. It's a hell of a lot easier, in my opinion, than having a bunch of type definitions. But it does come with the trade-off of you kind of have all these tags that are just kind of nested alongside each other. And then we also have a user input, which is part of the reward. Okay. So let's come back up here. Let's put a space in there. User input string, JSON of user input. Excuse. Oh. Okay. So that's the data that we would want to extract out of data. The rest of it is not really necessary. And we technically don't even need to do that. We could just say var var reward is a struct, and then what we could do is we could attempt to do a JSON.unmarshal byte, or should be in a slice of bytes from, and I think message.data is probably going to have to go back into, I think it's probably going to have to go back into a string. So we'll have to look at that. So if error equals JSON.onMarshal, error does not equal to nil, then in this case, just for the sake of not a channel point event, and instead of an error, I think instead this can just be a bool. Kind of similar to the idea of in a here we go, true. Oops, sorry. There we go. Return bot.event false. So similar to how when you access a map in Go, you can say, you can effectively say, hey, the map access is value comma okay equals map and then the key. If not okay, then that key doesn't exist inside of the map. Similar idea here, because really all we're trying to parse a channel point redemption. If it's not a channel point redemption, it's not really an error. It's just a I don't know what to do with this, so you kind of hand it off. But so we don't really want to return an error. We really just want to return a Boolean like, hey, this is not my thing. Now, did I want to do something with this? I think I did. Oh my god. Vim, stop it. All right, was there a bot dot new points event? Okay. So EVT equals bot dot new points event. Amount equals reward dot I'll change this to redeem. We do still have to fix message.data and redeem.reward.cost. Let's see here. So amount equals cost. Sender is redeem dot redemption dot user dot name. That is quite the nested structure, which is not great. So it's amount, sender. Oh, and then we want to do EVT dot title equals redeem dot reward dot title. And then do we have message as well? So more or less what I'm doing at this point would be reward dot user input. Okay, so we grab the user name as the sender, we grab the cost as the amount, the title as title, and the user input as EVT.message. So all I'm doing is just deconstructing the redemption event, deconstructing that from its original form into a bot points event. And then that points event comes back as a bot message. In theory, we can send that off to the bot and off we go. I don't think that this was... Oh, it is. So there is a specific type that is sent of reward redeemed, which is not the case for literally every other method. Everything else is a message. The rest of them kind of operate off of data. Like, that is so annoying. Ah! So we could add ourselves a little bit of a quick check. Quick check. Reward redeemed. I feel like that's probably going to go away. Just based on the fact that the rest of these don't do that kind of type difference. So actually this would be if method does not equal, or type does not equal reward redeemed, return bot.event. I can never find the bloody comma. False. Zelda. Oh shit, hold on. I'm back. Sorry about that. One of the cats I'm pretty sure is ill, and it is really hard to prevent the younger one, Zelda, from not like getting right underneath his mouth as he's trying to upchuck. Oy vey. All right. Yeah. Just notice the back of the room looks nice. It's all coming together. Thank you very much, Sorcery. Slowly but surely, trying to give the place a little bit of a homely feel. All right, so to do, will this go away? Other events don't have custom types. It makes me feel like, oh wait, didn't we have one of these? Let me do a redemption real quick. Oh. Okay, hold on a second. Am I crazy? So the type is a message, error is nil, data is a map of, so in other words, it's a message type. Type reward redeemed data, and oh my goodness, what happened here? That doesn't look right at all. It almost looks like there's unnecessary unnecessary nesting. Also, Socram1337, thank you so much for stopping by. Welcome to the lab. Welcome to us attempting to build a Twitch bot in Go and being confused by Twitch's own pub sub documentation. Still getting the Pong messages. Okay. So what's confusing me is that I'm not expecting this double mapping. Okay, so it's actually following the same format. That's interesting. And And that's also making me think that I'm doing something silly on the read side. So we have type, error, data. And then data should be... Oh, hang on a second. Is their documentation just way out of date? Okay, so topic and message, topic and message, topic and message. Okay. There's no topic and message here because there's no data, but topics and auth token. Okay. Damn it. Okay, so we might have to deal with that. But topic and message, topic and message, topic and message, topic and message. Okay, so data, topic, message. It's confusing the crap out of me because their documentation is not consistent. Over here, it's saying that the message is going to be a stringified JSON string. Down here, it's just a type, which I guess they screwed up, and it's actually that it's going to be message of type message, and then data is topic and message, just like the other ones were. But topic and message don't look like they're strings. They look like it's actually this part. So, okay. So in theory, I'm gonna be very sad if this breaks down. So topic is a string, JSON topic. Message, annoyingly, I think is the interface part. And then this will be JSON message. If that doesn't work, I'm going to be very sad. But I think that also does change up, not teed, read. I think this changes this up just a little bit. Maybe. That does also change write.
Oh no.
Okay. It's gonna bother me. It's gonna bother me. Okay, so the problem that I'm running into at the moment is that the listen interface, be this guy up here. So the listen interface, basically every single message follows the same pattern for data, which is type of something, data, topic is a singular topic, and then message, which is insert some JSON structure here. And because listen doesn't follow that pattern, we now have a divergence in message events. So we can either attempt to format the event struct to follow that pattern. So we have topic and we have message, and effectively omit empty. And what we could do is, this is for listen only. We could have topics, which is a slice of string, JSON is topics, omit empty. And then auth token is a string, JSON, auth token, omit empty. Now, the reason that I sound so dejected about that is because the divergence from that pattern basically means that now we've added a change of contract. We've added a potential change of contract and a potential change of I could probably fix that a little bit by changing that to listen topics. Effectively, we've introduced a divergence in API that we could potentially run into as we're consuming this event struct. Now, thankfully, we don't consume this event struct anywhere else except for inside of this class. Where is sendPing? Inside of sendPing, we just do a ping. Oh, it wouldn't be ping. It would be listen. Listen is the problem. Yes, listen is the problem. And in this case, we no longer have this approach. Data is now topics is this, and auth token is that. And of course, now that's not going to work. Oh wait, this is listen topics, not topics. This would be listen topics. The problem though is that now this is a problem, basically. Okay, so I think I'm gonna change this back. And you know what? I'm not gonna change this for the minority case. I'm gonna change this for the majority case. It's still not. Yeah. Oh no, we do need to omit empty here. Sorry, I know my brain is like all over the place with this, but that inconsistency really threw me for a loop. So I think data does continue to be an interface, and we kind of have to do that because the structure of data is not consistent. So in this case, data is a structure with topics and auth token. That's fine. That does introduce a problem. No, that's still a problem. Okay. Well, unfortunately, we are 16 minutes over where I was supposed to stop, and I'm starting to realize that I need to kind of step away from the code for a little bit and evaluate how I want to handle this part. So to catch everybody up, the problem is, again, because these event messages are not consistent. Even one inconsistency adds a piece of complexity to the equation. So I need to think about how I want to handle that. and how I want to handle the disparity between this message type versus, say, the message type that seems like every other message follows, which is type data, which is a topic, and a JSON stringified message, which is in of itself its own bundle of joy. But at a bare minimum, we are at least we're responding to ping pong. We are receiving messages off of the PubSub stream. So we're now able to at least see channel point redemptions. So at least that part is working. And we're on the way towards getting a bot feature for this, which is super exciting. But I'm gonna have to leave it there. So thank you all again so much for stopping by. I appreciate all of you coming by the lab. It has been a very productive morning, and that makes me feel really good about it. So again, I might be streaming later today. It kind of depends on how things go. And I'll be looking at improving the testing situation for this code, because that is something that I want to fix, and I want to fix it quickly. So potentially we'll be streaming that. If I don't stream it, then I will be recording it and uploading it to the YouTube channel. So thank you all so much for stopping by. It was fun. Stay curious, and we'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.